welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona and welcome back if you're practicing with me again. Today's class is a 45-minute Vinyasa flow class. It's part 7 of the full body series of classes. And it's a class to create inner spaciousness. So one of the great benefits of our practice is that it brings more space between our joints for more range of motion and ease of movement, more space in our minds and our breath. And in this class, we focus on creating and embodying that feeling of inner spaciousness. So it's a great antidote if you are feeling overwhelmed, crowded, or rushed at all. And for practice, you may wish to have a block. And if you are enjoying the classes and you'd like to support me, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'm also on Patreon. All the details are in the description below. Enjoy your practice. Thank you for joining me. Namaste. And begin your practice in a child's pose at the back of your mat. Place your knees wide so your chest can fall between your thighs, folding and resting toward the floor. Giving yourself a few moments here as you start your practice to surrender, to pause. Allow the mat to carry the weight of your body and letting go of any obvious gripping or holding in the shoulders, the jaw, the belly. And make a conscious choice now to make some space between any current distractions and responsibilities in this moment right now. And from this place of invited ease, start to observe your natural breath. Experience your breath, however deep or shallow or slow it is, just as it is. Feel your next breath in, your next breath out, the space between your breath. Becoming observant of that natural pause that occurs between the breath. And our ability to acknowledge and dwell in that pause really strengthens our ability to stay present when we're in the moving part of the breath, the inhale, the exhale, the expansion, contraction. Reach your arms forward now, or take a lateral stretch, walking your hands over to the right. Create a curve through the left side body as you reach your left fingertips away from your waist. Start to expand your breath physically into the spaces between your ribs. And mentally noting the space between the breath as it flows. Walk your left hand back to the midline of your mat now and thread the needle, weaving your right arm under your left, turning and resting on your right side cheek. Take 3 slow, calm breaths. And coming back to center, bringing your arms forward and then walking your hands over to the left. Invite the right side body to lengthen and curve. And back through center and twist. Take your right hand to the center of your mat, left arm under. And return to center. Make your way up onto all fours, stepping your knees under your hips, and glide through a few rounds of cat and cow, arching and rounding your spine, bathing your movement with your breath. And starting your practice physically opening the side body, twisting, mobilising the spine, naturally allows you to deepen your respiratory rhythm because it gives your lungs, your diaphragm, more interior space to move. On your next exhale, just take your buttocks back to your heels, land in your child's pose, Malasana. Feel the cadence of your breathing just as it is, unrushed. Take that pace with you now as you flow. On your inhale, glide up all fours and reach your right arm forward, your left leg back, and balance. On an exhale, curl in, bring your elbow to your knee, round your spine, hollow your belly. On your inhale, extend your right arm forward, left leg back. And on your exhale, Malasana, take your seat to your heels. On your inhale, come all fours, bring your left arm forward, your right leg back. Exhale, core lunge, elbow to your knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, soften, Malasana, buttocks to your heels. Adding on your inhale, come up, all fours, right arm forward, left leg back. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, extend. Hold your left leg back, just place your right hand to the mat, tuck your right toes, and on an inhale, press back, down dog splits, reach your left leg up and back. On an exhale, take a core lunge in the air, left knee to your nose. On an inhale, extend your left leg straight back, and this time bend your knee and roll open through your hip if that feels okay in your body, seeking sensation through the front of your left hip. Feel a whole breath in, a whole breath out. On your inhale, straighten and square your hips, and on your exhale, step your left foot up for low lunge. Tap your right knee down. Inhale, reach your arms by your ears. Exhale, firm your lower body steady. So you want to encourage this stretch through the back leg, into the top of the pelvis, into the belly as you reach to the edge of your ring fingers. Now take your left hand to your left thigh. Breathe your right fingertips up a little higher. And on your exhale, side bend to your left. Keep firming your right sit bone forward, lifting up and out of your right side waist. On your inhale, come back to center, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, fingertips to the floor, half splits. Ease your way toward a straight left leg. And again, just follow the pathway of your breath, the space between your breath, and invite to soften. Return to your low lunge and twist now. Keep the right hand down, circle your left arm up toward your ceiling. Then make some space between the hands. Bring the left hand down and step back to kneel. Return to your child's pose, buttocks to your heels. Changing sides, inhale all fours, send your left arm forward, your right leg back. On your exhale, curl in, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Keep your right leg extending, place the left hand down, tuck your left toes. On your inhale, down dog splits, pressing up and back. Exhale, core lunge, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, send your right leg up and back, and then bend your knee, open your hip. Exploring how that feels in your body. Try and bring an equal press to both hands and hollow and lift your left armpit. On an inhale, straighten and square your hips. On your exhale, step your right foot up for low lunge, left knee to the floor. Breathe your arms overhead and stay for a few breaths. Right hand to your right thigh now. And exhale, side bend to your right. Opening into the left side torso. On your inhale, float your arms overhead. Exhale, half splits, fingertips to the floor, Ardha Hanumanasana. Work towards straightening your right leg. Gauging the right quads, flexing your right toes. And then returning to your low lunge and twist. Left hand stays down, right arm circles up toward the ceiling. Turning your right ribs toward your left inner thigh. Take one more breath. Exhale, release, and let's step back through a vinyasa, stepping back to a plank pose. Take a full breath to arrive, greet your shape, front body strong. First round here, exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Coming into Bhujangasana, cobra pose, arcing through the spine. Slow, long exhale, downward facing dog. And just finding your comfortable stride here. You can gently pedal out through your heels, sway your hips. And then settle into your shape. And if you feel like your hamstrings are blocking you, there's every opportunity here to bend your knees, and that way you can manipulate the angle of your pelvis for comfort. And just finding that optimal angle in your body will help to direct the spine's flow so the low, middle, upper back can extend. Take 3 more spacious breaths. On an inhale, raise your right leg up and back. And just for a beat, bend your knee, open your hip. Inhale, straighten and square your hips. Exhale, one time, core lunge in the air, knee to your nose. Inhale, extend your right leg up and back. And then exhale, stepping up. We're going to come into triangle. We'll come upright first, right foot to your hands, anchor your left heel. Rise with your in-breath, straighten and firm your legs. Then just let your arms fall open to a T on your exhale. Getting steady, shift your pelvis back away from your right leg as you reach forward and down for Trikonasana. Exploring any subtle adjustments here so you can experience a sense of ease, stability and space in the shape. Making sure you've got a little wiggle room through the hips so your pelvis is not immobile, your breath is flowing, and you can feel its fullness around your ribs. And now take your left hand to the back of your skull, lean your head into your hand, your chest back in space just a little, and then aim your left elbow toward the top of your mat. So you're opening into the left side body. Legs stay firm. Take one more full cycle of breath. And on your inhale, reverse your warrior with a half bind. Bend into your right knee. Take the left hand behind your back. Send your right arm up and back. So your right side waist lifting up out of your hips now. Take a smooth breath in. On your exhale, transitioning into wide-legged forward fold, center your spine, turn your toes to face the long edge of your mat. Hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Breathe your chest open. Exhale and fold between your wide legs. Just a moment to surrender here, your head below your heart. Letting go of any striving. And just locating that space between your breath to soften. Feeling your breath between any reactions or feedback from the body. And then release your fingertips to the floor. On an inhale, open your chest forward. On your exhale, walk around, reframe your right foot and step back to plank. We'll pause. Taking side plank on your left now. Shift your heels to the left. So 2 straight legs, or modify by placing the left knee to the floor. Right arm reaches up toward the ceiling. Again, just make space between your hands. Lift and curve the left side waist away from the floor. And if you are feeling steady, raise your right leg. Step the right toes behind to the floor. For Wild Thing, parking your hips up a little higher. Reach your right arm overhead. Take one more breath. Exhale, return to plank pose. And take a Vinyasa, lowering slow. A back bend of your choice, upward dog or cobra. And downward facing dog on your exhale. And just for a few breaths here, linger and embody a spacious, expansive state of being. Fully inhabit this moment with your breath, your curious attention. And it's in this space, this stillness, where the silence can have its own conversation with you. Chance to step back from reactions and thoughts and notice the bigger picture beyond what your senses communicate. Moving to the left side now. On your inhale, raise your left leg up and back. Exhale, bend your knee, open your hip. Inhale, straighten and square your hips. Exhale, core lunge in the air. Inhale, extend your left leg up and back. Exhale, preparing for triangle, left foot steps up. 2 straight legs as you rise with your in-breath. Arms wide at shoulder height on your out-breath. Reaching forward, then down for Trikonasana. And know here that your body will naturally self-organize to find balance. So just allowing yourself to soften enough to find that balance in your own unique shape. One that doesn't feel too rigid or overextended. There's a buoyancy and space across your upper body, your legs firm and stabilizing you. Take your right hand to the back of your head, leaning your head back into your hand, and then send your right elbow tip forward toward the top of your mat. Take one more full cycle of breath. And on your inhale, reverse your warrior. Bend into your left knee, take your half bind, send your left arm up and back. Another smooth breath in here. And exhale, upright your spine, wide-legged forward fold, center. Hands to your hips this time. Point the elbows back, angle your heels out. Breathe your chest open. Exhale and fold, Paravita, Trikonasana. And you can run your hands down your legs here. An option to hook the big toes with your peace fingers and thumbs. Elbows wide, shoulder heads lift. Nice soft energy around the back of your neck. Then release your fingertips to the floor under the shoulders, open on your inhale. Walk around to your left foot and then step back to plank, taking right side Vashisthasana now, your version. Try and stabilize your right shoulder blade in, dig your heels in, left arm reaches, and just gently lean your skull back lightly. Either stay here or option to raise the left leg, step the toes behind you for Wild Thing. And take one more breath, expand through the front of your body. Nice firm core as you exhale, release, coming back through a Vinyasa or step quietly back to Downward Facing Dog if you'd like to do less. And we'll all meet up there. And again, just pause. Breathe your full circumference breath into the front, back, sides of the lungs. Just finding and residing in a spacious awareness of all that arises. And Eckhart Tolle reminds us that this is a choice, that we have the capacity in every moment to put more space around everything, more space around every choice, every word, every action, emotion. And when we do, we open up more room for peace and the experience of stillness and clarity to settle within us. On your next exhale, bring your feet to the top of your mat. Open on your inhale. Fold on your exhale. Rise to stand, sweep your arms overhead, send the gaze up. Press your palms and lower your hands to your heart center. For the next sequence, you might like to have a block, if you have one, setting it off to the right side of your mat. And when you're ready, coming into tree pose on our right, Vrksasana. Before you lift off, just lift and spread your right toes into the mat. Raise your left knee and firm your right buttocks forward. And then find your version. Your left knee turns out, left foot anywhere on the inseam of your right leg. So the higher your foot, the higher the center of gravity, more concentration, balance required. We're here for 6, steady breath. Moving into pyramid pose, left foot steps back now. Use your hands on your hips there once you land to bring the hips forward evenly and let that adjustment inform how you place your feet. So a wider stance may feel more stable and accommodate your hips. You can take your hands into reverse namaste if your shoulders will allow, or interlace your fingers behind your back here. On your inhale, lifting your sternum. Exhale, folding forward over your straight leg. So just staying connected to the feedback from your body, letting it guide your adjustments. On your inhale, press down through your front foot, rise all the way back up. We'll come into Revolved Triangle, Paravita, Trikonasana. Right hand finds your waist, left arm reaches up. On your exhale, moving forward and then revolving. Taking your left hand to the floor or a block for support if you have one there. Keep your back foot grounded. Last thing to come up, your right arm, your gaze. Take 2 more breaths. And release. Let's step up for Malasana, Yogi squat at the top of your mat. Shuffle your feet wide. Sit down on the back of your calves, any amount, just pause for a few breaths. Taking the time to find a shape that works for your knees and your ankles. And then release. Fingertips to the floor, parallel your feet, straighten your legs, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Fold on your exhale. Rise on your inhale. And hands to prayer. Let's change sides. You can prepare your block if you're using one, placing it off to the left side. And coming into tree pose on your left foot. So lift, spread your left foot wide, setting up your base of support. Firm your left sit bone forward, and then just raising your right knee. Placing your right foot on the inner seam of your left leg. And if your balance is wobbly today or on this side, just simply lower and lightly touch your right toes to the floor. 6 steady breaths. And moving into your pyramid pose, right foot steps back, squaring your hips forward, adjusting your stance for stability, and taking your preferred hands, or simply hold the waist here, your elbows point back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold over the midline of your left leg. So you're steering your belly button over the midline of the left thigh. Keeping the front body long, unwrinkled, back of your neck extending. On your inhale, rise all the way back up. And moving into twisting triangle, left hand to your waist, right arm reaches up. Exhale, reach forward, then down, and then revolve, right hand to the floor or a block. And think about moving into the twist from your middle and upper back without overcompensating with your neck here. If you haven't already and you've space to grow, left arm reaches up toward the ceiling. Take 2 more deep breaths. And release, fingertips to the floor, stepping up into your squat. Take 3 breaths here. Hands to the floor. From here we're going to step the left foot back into a lizard lunge. Tap your left knee to the floor, hands on the inside of your right foot or a block if you'd like to elevate the floor to meet your hands. And lizard pose can be quite intense if you have less range of motion in the hips. So as we wind down, aim to move gently away from intensity and do a little less here. Find that middle ground where your breath can relax and soften. And final few breaths here, we'll move into single pigeon. So just toe heeling your right foot over into the opposite lane. Gather your right heel in a little closer toward your pelvis. And you can either straighten your left leg behind you or draw the letter Z with your legs for a modified version. Then folding forward any amount. And then walking your hands back in toward you, standing into your hands, press back into downward facing dog. Just enjoy that freedom and space through the back of your legs. And then go ahead, step your left foot forward for lizard lunge. Right knee softly down to the floor. And just get situated, settle your hands on the inside of your left foot. And count out 6 slow, calm breath. And then single pigeon on your left now. So left knee just falls to the back of your left hand. Right leg extends, or taking that modified version. So legs into right angles. And then resting forward. Just perhaps starting to lengthen out your exhales as a way of staying with that feeling of surrender. And then gently lifting and releasing, walking your hands back in. This time sitting down on your left buttock, sweep your right leg around to the front of your mat and make your way down onto your back. If you would like to grab any extra layers, just taking them now, any additional props. And when you arrive, bend your knees, take your feet to the floor, hips width apart or a little wider, setting up for bridge pose. Rest your arms alongside your body, and on your exhale, when you're ready, lifting your hips, lengthening through the front of your chest, your abdominals, breathing your smooth, steady breath. And then slowly articulating the spine down. From here, interlace your hands behind the back of your head, so your head rests back into your hands. And we'll take a hands-free quad stretch. Go ahead, tuck your right toes behind the back of your left heel and invite your right knee to relax down toward the floor. And then from here, straighten your left arm overhead, roll onto your left side hip, straighten and extend your right leg, keep your left knee bent, and then reach back with your right hand for your left foot or in that direction. Try and keep rocking your top hip forward to maintain your balance. Same time, direct your tailbone toward your right heel. And once you've found that foundation in your legs, you steady, work toward Opening through the front of your shoulder, merging your right shoulder blade toward your spine. Take one more smooth breath in and out. Making your way into a twist. Pick up your head, slide the left arm out to the side, bend both knees toward your chest. And then take your gaze out to the right or straight up toward your ceiling, the sky, whatever feels most comfortable in your neck. And release, roll onto your back once more, returning for your bridge pose. And a couple of options here. You can wrap your hands around your ankles as you lift, or bend your elbows, settle your hands to the small of your back, or arms alongside your body. Just take 3 slow, deep breaths. And then lower yourself down. Hands behind the back of your head. Taking your left side quad stretch, tuck your left toes behind the back of your right heel. Invite your left knee to relax down toward the floor. And then straighten your right arm overhead, roll onto your right side. Straighten and extend your left leg, right knee stays bent. Reach back and connect your left hand with your right foot. Opening through the front of your shoulder. One more smooth breath in and out. And twist. Release your right arm out to the side, knees to chest. And opening your gaze to your left. And release. Center your spine. We're going to transition into Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together. Invite your knees to relax open. And as an alternative here, you can knock the knees, take the feet wide if that feels best. Just letting your body settle now into a restorative shape. We'll practice 4 rounds of 4, 7, 8 breathing before Shavasana. Simple technique to down-regulate your nervous system, focus your attention, and prepare you so you can rest and reside quietly in stillness. In this practice, we breathe in through the nose for the count of 4, hold the breath for the count of 7, and exhale for the count of 8 with a whooshing sound out of your mouth. So to begin, wherever you're at, part your lips and whoosh the air out of your lungs. Then seal your lips, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold the breath, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale and whoosh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Seal the lips, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more rounds in your own time.
pushing all the air out of your lungs with a big whoosh. And when you're ready, just relax. Letting go of any influence over your breath now. And transitioning into Shavasana for our last few minutes here. Slowly extending your legs, laying your arms by your side, palms face up. Inviting the practice to settle into your body. Your body to settle and release into the support beneath you. And if thoughts come to disturb you, letting them come and go with the same ease as you breathe. Your time to rest now. Create some space for yourself. And I'll be back to guide you back. And very gently waking your body up with a deeper breath, a little movement. Bending your knees, taking your feet to the floor and rolling out to your right side. Just pause for a moment. Blinking the eyes open, letting the light in toward you. And then just slowly drag your way back up to sit. And may you find the time to take this space and stillness along as your companion as you move through your week. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.